Hi guys, I am Shubhangini Dubey and today we are going to cover approach 365 for the early morning dose of October 23, 2019. It's our course approach 365 daily current affairs. Okay. Sources The Hindu, PIB and some miscellaneous like Indian Express and Economic Times, and but especially we are going to cover news from The Hindu and the PIB. Okay, so in this video, what topics will be discussed? First is no Assam government jobs for those with more than two children. Second one is US India Strategic Partnership Forum, USISPF. Third one is palm oil imports. Fourth one is Siachen Glacier. Fifth one is Defense Acquisition Council, DAC. Sixth one is Defense Technologies and Trade Initiative. Fourth one is Regulation of Social Media. And the eighth one is Taanaji, Malusare and the Battle of Singhagad. Okay, so beginning it with the no Assam government for those with more than two children. Okay, so recently Assam cabinet has decided that no government job will be given to those who are having more than two children after January 1st, 2021. Okay, so it's a great move because to control the population. And in September 2020, the Assam Assembly passed a bill, Population for Women Empowerment Policy of Assam, in which job candidates with two children only would be eligible for government employment, and the existing government staff were to strictly follow the two children family norm. So in this way, it's a good move of Assam so that the population will be controlled. Okay, moving on to the next topic, US India Strategic Partnership Forum, USISPF. Okay, so it's basically a non profit organization and its primary objective is strengthening the India and US bilateral, that means relationship from both the sides, and the strategic partnership. And it will be having 4 points, that is policy advocacy in the field of economic growth, so it will help in the economic growth, the entrepreneurship and the employment creation, it will create the employees and the innovation will happen. Okay, moving on to the next topic, palm oil import. It's an important one because recently India's apex trade oil body is Solvent Extractors Association of India. In short, it is known as C, and it has issued a short advisory notice including importer, crusher, and processors to avoid importing palm oil from Malaysia. Okay, so there will be no more palm oil, or we can say that and less palm oil will be imported from Malaysia. Okay, so I think you guys know it or not, but most of the edible product, that means kurkure and these lays and all that, whatever packed product is there, it is made in palm oil. Okay, so why it happened? Because union's government strong objection to Malaysia. Actually, Malaysia criticized India move to abrogate Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir, and in this move, it is happening that the India's apex oil trade body is just avoiding the import of palm oil from Malaysia. What are the key facts? It is that India's total annual palm oil import is approximately 9 million tons. Okay, so see, it's huge amount, 9 million tons, and around which 3 to 3.5 million tons is imported from Malaysia. So a good amount is imported from Malaysia, and rest from Indonesia and other major palm oil producing countries. So as we have already discussed, it almost accounts for two-thirds of the country's total edible oil imports. Okay, so whatever oil, edible oil is there, it is not the coconut oil or the groundnut oil. These all the packed products are fried in the palm oil. Okay, now moving on to the next topic, Siachen Glacier. It is in news. We are discussing it because now it's open for tourist and tourism. One more spot for tourist and tourism, and it's a good one. So it lies in the Karakoram range system, which is a part of Western Himalayas. It lies in the Western Himalayas, Siachen Glacier, and it lies to the south zone that separates Eurasian plate. See, there are so many plate. Okay, in geography we learned. So this Siachen Glacier separates the Eurasian plate with the Indian plate. Okay, so Indian plate is here, and then Siachen Glacier separate the Eurasian plates, which is the result of convergence boundary interaction in geographical terms. So there is geographical term of convergence boundaries. That means it separated. There are plates. Indian plate is heavy one and Eurasian plate is light one. So it is separating it. Okay. Now it is the highest battlefield in the world and lies on LOC. Okay, we know how our soldiers protect our country in Siachen Glacier. It is one of the difficult areas to have the it is the difficult battlefield in the world. Okay, between India and Pakistan it is there, and it has been continuously contested by Pakistan as its own part. Okay, so we know 1971 war, it was the win of India over in the Siachen Glacier, and now it's in India. But Pakistan always tried to overcome it, but it is still in India's right. Okay, it is in India's hand. Okay, now moving on to the next topic. No, not some more key facts are there. Okay, after the Indo-Pakistan War in 1971, an agreement was signed. Okay, which was known as Shimla Agreement. Okay, but later it failed. Who controls the glacier? Okay, but in 1894, the 1971 war is quite important. Okay, it is like every time there is a question from 1971 or these wars. Okay, which India won. However, in 1984, the Pakistan army tried to enter the glacier. Okay, so within a year period of 12 to 13 years, Pakistan again tried. Okay, forcibly India to launch a military operation known as Operation Meghdoot. So India made a operation, that is Operation Meghdoot, and since then we are controlling the glacier. A ceasefire agreement was signed between India and Pakistan in 2003, but there is no Pakistan is not ever following the ceasefire, because every time whenever we see a news, Pakistan broke the ceasefire, Pakistan broke the ceasefire. So it's like that. Okay, but still a ceasefire was agreement was done in 2003. The glacier is the source of many rivers, including Nubra River. This is important. Okay, so we have to understand that which river is near Siachen Glacier, so we can just figure it out. It's the Nubra River, a tributary of Shyok. This is also important. So out of many rivers, glacier is the source of many rivers, including Nubra River and a tributary of Shyok. Tributary of Shyok it is, and it is a part of Indus River system. Okay, then there are again some remaining key facts about Siachen Glacier, because the question can come from Siachen itself, because it's a part of current affairs. And now geography too. Okay, so it's the world highest helipad built by India. Okay, so in the Siachen Glacier, and it is the world's highest helipad. So it's a factual point. Okay, and by India at Point Sonam. The point is known as Point Sonam to supply its troops. So troops are there. Troops regularly there is a transportation of troops in that helipad, and India also has installed the world's highest telephonic booth on the glacier. See, it is the highest peak. It is the India is having the army in the world's deadliest place, and one of the deadliest places is Siachen Glacier. Okay, so now these are some key facts that world's highest helipad it is by India at Point Sonam to supply its troop, and India has installed the world highest telephonic booth on the glacier. And these are some key facts. And the region is also home to rare species. What are the rare species found in Siachen Glacier? So it's again one question is from environment, the another one is from geography. Then rare species of snow leopard, brown bear. Okay, which may be affected by military presence. So sometimes they are affected by the military presence. This has led to talks in international forums about creating a peace park in the area and demilitarize it. Okay, so sometimes it is an international forum is has talks to make it a peace park, and peace park will be having such rare species, because the species have no nothing to do with the India Pakistan war. Okay, so a peace park will be made. Okay, then moving on to the next topic, Defense Acquisition Council. In short, it is known as DAC. So what is DAC? It is to counter corruption and speed up decision making in military procurement. The government of India in 2001 decided to set up an integrated DAC. So it will counter the corruption, and the what are the whatever military procurements are there, military decisions will be there. It will be speed up. Okay, and Defense Acquisition Council is headed by the Defense Minister, who is right now is Rajnath Singh. Okay, now what is the objective of DAC? It is to ensure expeditious procurement of the approval requirement of the armed force. Okay, so basically it ensures whatever expeditions armed force has to do. Okay, whether any war condition is there, or some type of act should be done, or some type of surgical strike should be done. So these are all things budgetary allocated budgetary resources. It also passes the budget and utilizing the budget too. Okay, so these are the objectives. Now functions of DAC is, it is responsible to give policy guidelines. It's also give policies to acquisitions, okay, based on long term procurement plan. It also clears all acquisitions which include both imported and those produced indigenously or under a forest license. So basically, whatever work which is administrative work, it is done by the DAC only. Okay, now moving on to the next topic, defense technologies and trade initiative. So it came about to expedite the scope of cooperation between partnership countries on defense technologies. See, defense technologies and trade initiative, it is the now see before 2 days only we heard about that India's training with Oman. Okay, India's army is going to having a training with Oman. If you have seen my previous lectures, okay, so these are the things which are increasing the trade initiatives between the countries. Okay, so we are just sharing the defense technologies as well as the trade initiatives are happening. Okay, that become now what is this saying, that cooperation between partnership countries on different technologies, okay, that become narrow due to presence of differing bureaucratic process. See, India's bureaucratic process is different and another country's bureaucratic process is different. So basically such, then different technologies and trade initiative will be a platform in which easily tran easily tra- easily exchange of technologies can be done. Okay, initially, essentially, DTII is initiative to provide increased US senior level oversight and engagement to get beyond these obstacles. Okay, so in US senior level oversight is there, so it is properly based for the US. Okay, now DTTI initiative is led by Under Secretary of Defense for Acquisition from US. It is for US, and initiative is done by Under Secretary of Defense for Acquisition and Sustainment for from US and Secretary for Defense Protection from India. It is increasing the partnership between India and US. Okay, so initiative has been done by both the countries, the United States and India. From United States, it is done by the Under Secretary of Defense for Acquisition and Sustainment from US, and from India, it is done by the Defense Protection from India. Aim is to bring sustained leadership. Okay, so it will bring a sustained leadership which will focus in the bilateral defense trade relationship. Bilateral defense trade relationship means trade relationship from both the sides which will be related to the defense, and it will create opportunities for co-production and co-development of defense equipment. So co-production, defense equipment will be co-produced and they will be co-developed from the initiative of DTTI. Okay, moving on to the next topic, regulation of social media. Why we are discussing it? Because center is planning to come up with rules to regulate social media. See, it's very important nowadays. Social media is one of the powerful weapon. Okay, it can create any buzz. Okay, and any type of false fake news is also there, and it creates violence and all that. So it's a power. So regulation bill is important because it can cause unimaginable disruption to democracy. Obviously, it is obvious in this statement. It's clear in this own its statement that it could cause unimaginable disruption to economy. Rules will help in curbing growth threat to individual rights and nation's integrity. Obviously, if some fake news is sharing, if a fake news is shared for 1,000 times and beyond that, then it will be a threat to nation's integrity, sovereignty, and the security. So, regulation of social media is important. What is its background? Its background is Supreme Court has expressed the need to regulate social media to curb fake news, defamation, fake news, obviously fake news, defamation, like somebody abusing somebody, or we can say dishonoring somebody, and trolling. Okay, somebody is getting trolled. Okay, and then they are unable to live their life as normal person. So it is the thing Supreme Court has expressed to regulate social media. It has also asked Union government to come up with guidelines. Union government will come up with the light guidelines to prevent misuse of social media while protecting users' privacy in 3 weeks' time. So it will be in the hand of Union government too, that how they are going to curb this and how they are going to regulate it. Okay. Now why there is a need of regulation? The speed and rate of social media has meant that supervisor rumors and fake news get aired with impunity. See, social media is a weapon, it is with everybody. Okay, everyone can use it. And in what intention people are using, maybe fake news on WhatsApp can has led to lynching. See, we have seen so many lynching case due to social media. Okay, so these are the things which is a threat to nation's integrity. Okay, even sometimes the person who is not involved in the cases, they are beaten up, they are lynched, and they are no more alive. Okay, they are beaten up to death even they hadn't done any crime. So these are the things which need to be done. And then what will be the challenges? This question arises. So to strengthen a policy on policing social media could violate the individual right to policy. These are the challenges. Then again, if anything will be done, then it will be raise question to right to policy. Okay, so it's not easy to force Facebook, the owner of WhatsApp, to give up the app's unique selling proposition to the user of complete end-to-end confidential. So we can't share our privacy too, and it's the challenge for the government. Okay, but still, what are the way ahead we are going to discuss? So, any conversation on additional regulation of social media brings up concern about privacy and surveillance. Therefore, any bid regulating expression online has to be proportional and content with the adequate redressal mechanism and without any blanket provision. So, there it can be done, but provision should be made. Additional regulations have to be made so that it can be concerned about the privacy and the surveillance. Okay. Now, moving on to the next topic, Taanaji, Malusare, and the Battle of Singhagad. Why we are discussing it? Because a Bollywood movie, Taanaji, the Unsung Warrior, is being made based on Subedar Taanaji Malusare. So, the Bollywood movie is having Kajol, Ajay Devgan, and Saif Ali Khan too. Okay, now the question arises, who was Taanaji Malusare? According to the history, he was Maratha military leader and a close aide of Chhatrapati Shivaji. Okay, so he was close aide of Chhatrapati Shivaji, it's important, and a Maratha military leader. So he hailed from Malusare clan. Malusare was a clan, and Tanaji is popularly remembered for the Battle of Singhagad that took place in the year 1670s. Okay, so in 17th century, the Battle of Singhagad took place in 1670, and that's why Tanaji is remembered. Okay, in the battle, Tanaji fought against Udyabahan Rathor, a formidable Rajput warrior. So he was a Maratha leader and he fought against Udyabahan Rathor, and he was a Rajput who was put in charge of Fork Khandan, later named Singhagad by Jai Singh. He was put in charge of Khandana. Okay, Fort Khandana was there and he was the in charge of it, which was later named as Singhbad by Jai Singh. Singhbad named it. It was Jai Singh named it Singhbad. Okay, so the Battle of Singhbad was happened in 1670s. Okay, so in area 1665, the Treaty of Purandar was signed between Jai Singh and the Shivaji. Okay, so a Treaty of Purandar is also there in history, and it was signed between Jai Singh and Shivaji. Among several demands, the treaty required the Maratha ruler to give up Fort Kandhana to the Mughals. Okay, so the treaty was like Maratha ruler have to give up Fort Kandhana to the Mughals. After it was taken over by the Mughals, the fort was guarded by Rajput. So from Maratha, it was taken over by Mughals. Okay, and then the fort was guarded by the Rajput, Pathan and Arab troops guard, and was said to be impenetrable. Okay, so basically it was guarded by Rajput, which we have Udayabhan Rajput. Okay, so it was guarded by Udaya Rajput, and then Rajput Pathan and even Arab troops guarded it, and it was said that nobody can enter inside that fort. Okay, so this deeply disturbed and enraged Shivaji's mother Rajmata Jijabai. It was like why Maratha used to give that Fort Khandana to Mughals. So it was so disturbing for Jijabai. She was Shivaji's mother. Upon this Upon knowing this, Shivaji entrusted Tanaji, and so now Shivaji entrusted Tanaji, and the only man he could think of capable of conquering the fort Kondana at any cost. So he was like Tanaji was the person who was good enough for Shivaji's, and he was among the capable leader who can reconquer that fort, which was already of Marathas, but it was given up to the Mughals. Okay, what became the outcome for battle? Even though the attack by Tanaji took the Mughals by surprise, Mughals were surprised by Tanaji. The latter nonetheless outnumbered the Marathas. The two clashed for long. Malusare was gravely wounded in the fight and died. So Malusare bravely fought in the war and he died in that war. Okay, enraged by the death of their general, the Marathas fought under the leadership of his brother Suryaji Malusare and eventually vanquished the enemy. The fort was renamed Singhagad by Shivaji to honor Taanaji. In that war, he died. Okay, to reconquer Fort Kondana, which was later known as the Singhagad Fort. Okay, but because of his death, the Marathas were enraged. Okay, and his younger brother name was Suryaji Malusare. So he vanished the enemy. Okay, so the Mughals were defeated by him, and the fort was renamed as Singhagad by Shivaji to honor Taanaji. And later on, Shivaji renamed the Kondana fort into Singhagad to honor Taanaji. Okay, so this was today's video, and